as the UU100 coordinator on how we embraced RSD in UU100 and how we framed our assessment as per this particular framework. We also participated in the workshop that was conducted during the mid-semester break in semester 1 by Dr. John. And after this workshop, we immediately realized that this was a good idea and we wanted to take a head start to pilot RSD within our course as well. First of all, just giving you an overview of our course UU100. This course introduces the fundamental concepts of computers and their applications and addresses the broader imperative for students to develop the capacity to effectively locate, access, evaluate, and use information. So just in a nutshell, this course has two components, an ICT component and an information literacy component embedded in it. So after this workshop, we had to release assignment 2, and at the same time, we were approached by the gender studies coordinator at USP. She also wanted our course to highlight the gender issues. So we realized that maybe at this opportune time, it was us not trying to just kill 2 birds with one stone, but a flock of birds with this single stone. So we are trying to address our course needs, which is IT and information literacy content. We're also trying to incorporate RSD and at the same time highlight gender studies theme within this assignment. Okay, so what we did is with our team at UU100, we came up with an assignment topic which we thought would be suitable and which would be able to address the need. This course was already going on, so we were already covered 7 weeks of study. So at this point, we could not change any content. We had to incorporate UU100 by redesigning our assessment. Okay, so our content stayed the same, and we picked up a topic: females refrain from taking ICT studies at tertiary level or as a career option. Is this just a belief, or is it a fact in our society? So we thought this would highlight gender divide in our communities. Also, we asked the students to discuss their views on this statement with evidence from authoritative sources. So we wanted students to conduct research to actually come up with a solution. And we believe that it was talking about ICT, it was talking about information literacy. We want to have a RSD framed assessment and also this gender issue. The first thing we did is we sat down and identified the audience for our assessment, because you must have noticed that on the sheet given to you, there's 5 levels of autonomy. So we were at first year, this is a first year course, so we were supposed to have a closed inquiry. We could not give an open research question. So this is the first thing as the lecturer, you have to decide most probably which level your course is, and then appropriately design your assessment. Then the nature of our assessment was a summative assessment, so we believe that we could test a lot of RSD components within this particular framework. We realized the existing strengths of the student. We didn't want to change the content. We already taught them certain topics, and we know their weaknesses. So the approach we took was to change our assessment rubric. Okay? And we identified that there were 6 phases, and we had to also recognize that at this stage we wanted students to focus more on analysis and synthesis. So we designed our rubric as such. Okay? We listed down the facets of research we wanted the students to focus on, and then what we did was students were given this particular rubric that they have to show evidence of inquiry, evidence of finding and generating information, evidence of critically evaluating, organizing. And you'll notice that the rubric actually has different weightings for different facets. So the facet which was most important to us, students' ability to critically evaluate information, had a higher weighting. Also, the ability to add new knowledge, their findings, comments from their own society, we added a higher weighting to that. And we graded that student across these three categories: highly satisfactory in that area, satisfactory, and unsatisfactory performance. Now in the course, what we did is we do teach students search strategy. Okay? So in the assignment, students actually had to first discuss their search strategy, the terms they used for searching, which search tool they used, and also evidence of how they analyze the information and properly reference them. So basically, it incorporated the research component of identifying, locating information, and eventually demonstrating to us that they had carried out some research. So what we realized from this experience was, with this framework, now framing our assessment along RSD facets, we could have explicit assessments. What I mean by this is, when we teach student information literacy, in the lab session itself, we had very closed inquiries. We gave students very specific questions. In the assignment, what we could have done is could have given them more open-ended questions to research on. So different assessment could actually focus on the different level. Also, we realized that students now undertook conscious research. Okay, they realized that yes, they were researching. Okay, because in the rubric they saw that they had to locate something, find something, then analyze, then synthesize. So conscious research was taking place. We also noticed that this RSD gave us a platform to actually work with our colleagues in UU courses. So across courses. What we mean by this is, for example, communication skills is taught by UU100. So we didn't put much emphasis or weighting to these assessment tasks. So that also gave us an opportunity, this RSD framework, to realize that. Now our way forward, what we have done this semester is, our course also covers ICT. So instead of asking them straightforward questions like, what is Wi-Fi, what is this? Because we know that when we ask questions like this, students will think and then they'll answer. So indirectly there is some kind of research. What we're doing is we give them scenarios. Like suppose you're going on a geography field trip and you're given an option to pick a smartphone or a tablet to take with you. Now which technology would you take with you? And justify your reason. And just as pointers, we discuss along the lines of whether Wi-Fi, the storage capacity, battery life. So all we do is we just reframe our assessment task in terms of the way we are put forward the questions, and we notice that it becomes evident that students are doing research, and we can actually explicitly see that RSD is incorporated within the assessments. Thank you very much.